the days when the judges judged, there was a famine in the land. A man of Bethlehem, Judah, went with his wife and 2 sons to live in the country of Moab. The name of the man was Elimelech, his wife Naomi, his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. They came to the country of Moab and stayed there. Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her 2 sons. The sons took wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth. They lived there about 10 years. Mahlon and Chilion both died, and the woman was bereaved of her 2 children and of her husband. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law to return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that Yahweh had visited his people and given them bread. She left the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law went with her. They began the journey to the land of Judah. Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go, return each of you to your mother's house. Yahweh deal kindly with you as you have dealt with the dead and with me. Yahweh grant you that you may find rest, each of you in the house of your husband." And she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. They said to her, "No, but we will return with you to your people." Naomi said, "Go back, my daughters. Why do you want to go with me? Do I still have sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Go back, my daughters, go your way. For I am too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should even have a husband tonight and should also bear sons, would you then wait until they were grown? Would you then refrain from having husbands? No, my daughters, for it grieves me much for your sakes, for the hand of Yahweh has gone out against me." They lifted up their voices and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law farewell, but Ruth stayed with her. She said, "Behold, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her God. Follow your sister-in-law." Ruth said, "Don't entreat me to leave you and to return from following after you. For where you go I will go, and where you lodge I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die will I die, and there I will be buried. Yahweh do so to me, and more also, if anything but death part you and me." When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, she stopped speaking to her. So those 2 traveled to Bethlehem. When they had come to Bethlehem, it happened that all the city was agitated about them. They asked, "Is this Naomi?" She said to them, "Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty has dwelt very bitterly with me. I went out full, and Yahweh has brought me home again empty. Why do you call me Naomi, since Yahweh has testified against me, and the Almighty has afflicted me?" So Naomi returned, and Ruth Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, who returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of the barley harvest. So a couple of weeks ago, I started, and I have a devotional where I talk a little bit more about this. I don't remember the number of the devotional, but I have it up there in the devotional section. But I started carrying little cards, just tucked in me. Just sort of tucked in my clothes to remind me to always put God first in everything that I do. And one of the one of the sayings that I wrote on it was, well, one of them was from last week, to God, like, less of me, more of God. The other one was, "Dear God, I don't think I can do this by myself, but please give me the strength to walk with you." And I'm sure we all have those times in our lives where we feel like Naomi, just in that, like, you just feel like so many things are going the wrong way. And here Naomi, like, she lost her sons, she lost her husband, and then she comes back to where she was, and everyone's agitated to see her. It's not like they, like, reach out with open arms to that. Like, people are, like, they're gossiping, they're saying things about herself, so just being humiliated. And the whole, like, she says, "Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, like, call me bitterly, because, you know, I've just been dealt with bitterly." So just really just feeling like you're at the bottom of the bottom, and something really has to be said for Ruth's strength here, because it's absolutely amazing. But in this case, I just want to focus on I almost call it the bounce back, really the resilience within Naomi. Here, this happened at verse 1, and then, not verse 1, chapter 1, and then by chapter 3, now, I'm not quite sure how much time has elapsed in between that, but by chapter 3, she's planning out this plan, you know. So it's like just she always has this faith in God. She always has, like, this, like, he's always there. So no matter how far she's at the bottom, she sees things unfolding, and she automatically like knows what to do. So for me, it just speaks, and just the fact of being able to get back up from that, and then like Ruth's actions of just getting out and taking the next step, I also think just helped to just motivate her and inspire her. So, and I think I'll probably leave it at here because I'm already at 5 minutes and 27 seconds. I wanted to keep everything underneath 5 minutes, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I know there's so many different layers to this, but a lot of times when I read the book of Ruth, the focus is on Ruth, and I think the focus should be on Ruth because her strength, her belief is just absolutely amazing. But then also on Naomi as well, because no matter how many times we feel like we're stepped on our backs, and there's no way up, it's just like a workout, when we do a push-up. A part of the push-up is the part where you get down, where you fall down towards the ground and you push back up. So Naomi had her moment where she was almost on the ground, almost on the bottom part of her push-up, and she pushed back up. And just to know that we're not in this alone, and we were never meant to be in this alone. So if you're feeling lost at any point in time, it's just think of like whose shoulders you stand on and for who you stand with, like all these powerful women in the Bible, Mary, you have, here's mom, you have Mary Magdalene, you have Ruth, you have Naomi, you have Dorcas, you have Deborah, like, it goes on and on and on, and like, that's all a part of your history. So with all of those wonderful things being a part of your history, like, nothing else can go wrong. That's it, end of story, boom. So I just want to say I love you ladies so much. Thanks for going on this little journey / excursion with me. And here's to workout number 2. It's a little bit of a mean workout. Just know that I love you very much. I really do. Even if it seems like I don't during the workout, I really do. Have a beautiful one. Take care.